Good morning, everyone. Good afternoon. Welcome back to the breakfast show with myself. My co host has decided to sleep another time, but that's okay. We are going to have a little discussion about pre market numbers. We do have some breaking news for Coreweave. Coreweave is up 7% before the market opens, which might be the reason why Jose is not showing up, because maybe he's retiring right now. But we have some breaking news with regards to Coreweave. We do have, as always, some analyst comments on some stocks that we do follow. And then we will have a quick look at what to expect from Nike's earnings later today for those that still hold Nike shares. And so at the moment, government shutdown, no government shutdown, as I've said yesterday. If we look at the historical performance of the market, on average, the impact of a government shutdown in the United States is neutral. And so whatever happens today doesn't really matter that much. Well, it matters for you, the US taxpayers, but for the stock market on average, it doesn't really matter that much. So let's have a quick look, first of all, at the chat. Good morning to everyone. This is a new technical analysis type of wording here. Google, if it goes back to 180, just DCA, it would be Charizard territory. Okay, I did not know that this was something, Charizard territory. There is a new Charizard card, though, that is quite something. Excellent, actually. Good morning, Roberto. Mr. Market, well, Jose's stream is not showing up since he's not streaming. Good morning to everyone. Goedemiddag in Dutch. How does it feel that, I mean, at one point it was up even more than 3.5%. It felt very good. You know why it felt very good? Because when I looked, because first of all, I looked at my options because I got a message. I was like, okay, what the heck's going on? I looked at the options yesterday, up 50% in a day, up 60% in a day. I was like, wait a second, did they announce Nvidia partnership or something like that? No, nothing. Nothing was announced. There was a good ad that came out with regards to Venmo, but that was about it. But maybe this is the tipping point. This is where PayPal actually starts to move back up. We'll actually have a quick look now that we're talking about PayPal, because it is very rare to see PayPal actually go up for no apparent reason. Nothing was announced. Maybe someone knows something, right? Even pre-market. There are a couple of names that are green. Coreweave is up 8%. I'll tell you why. PayPal yesterday was up 3.5%. At one point, PayPal actually went above $70 again. It did find some resistance, as you can clearly see. Sometimes these things do work out. This is the 100-day moving average, sits at $71. We have a clear rejection there, but if we can close out the week above the 50-day one, I think that's going to be a very good start. Right now, pre-market, we are up 0.55%. Yeah, the options yesterday were crazy. Exactly. Up 65%. I think I was up 65% on, I think, the January ones. I do have a very, very small play for January. I have a bigger play for March, even bigger play for June 26, all $100 price strike price, and then $100 strike price for January 2027. But those we have quite a lot of time to see how those will work out. But yeah, it is quite good to see PayPal being up. And if I have to pay the price of SoFi being down so that PayPal goes up, I'd happily pay the price, because big freaking deal. Yesterday we're down 1.5%. I'll pay a 1.5% fee in order for my PayPal to go up a little bit. But yeah, it feels good. It feels good, but we're just at the start right now. We're just at the start right now from that turnaround. Anyways, quick overview of the pre-market action. Where I know the titles say stocks drop. Some of them drop, but not such a big deal. Right now we are flat-ish. Again, when we'll get official confirmation, government shutdown, no government shutdown, just based on the headline alone, that should be moving the market. But does it change anything for us investors? Not really. Especially maybe short term, a little bit volatility here and there, but longer term, it doesn't change that much. And so let's maybe start off with the bigger news. And the bigger news was something that literally just happened as I was going live. And that's this. Coreweave inks a $14 billion Meta deal to supply computing power. And so it seems like Coreweave is expanding to not just only being that OpenAI partner, let's say. This case, we do have here Meta, a $14 billion deal. Pretty good. So that's the reason why the stock is up now, pre-market 8.8%. We're back at $133 pre-market, which was, well, prices not seen since last week. So that's good. It's not about the stock price per se that is exciting right now. It's just the fact that, okay, we are seeing them now expand and reach out to other big players out there. And if, of course, Coreweave gets a Meta deal, maybe some of the other players might be getting Meta deals as well. We've just had the Microsoft Nebius one. We, of course, had Coreweave OpenAI, Coreweave Nvidia. Now, Coreweave Meta. Could this open the door? Not open door, but could this open the door to potentially see a Nebius get another deal? Because we know that the Microsoft deal with Nebius is not the last one. We know that more are coming, just a question of when. So Nebius right now is up 1.5%. So we're at $112. Iron right now is down 0.6%, although yesterday was another pretty good day. Stock was up 9.7% yesterday. So being down a tiny bit right now, it's not such a big deal. But the big deal here is definitely the Coreweave news, which, now that I think about it, maybe I should just put this in the title because it just came out. Maybe it might be a good idea for people to know about it from the title. And I do agree here with Tour de Brew. No one missed PayPal. No, of course, no one missed PayPal. Nothing changed much over the last couple of months. But bigger move will start Yeah, of course, they have to start closing above $70. I think that could send a big message. A big message. Let me just update the title real quick. Coreweave Meta deal. Let's do something like this. Voila. Much better, I think. Much better. Anywho, what other stocks have we seen move fast? We have a couple of good comments from some analysts. There are some various commentaries here for us to look at right now. Chime. Look, I just opened a position in Shift 4, so I don't think I will be opening up another position in another fintech. I do think that still, I mean, I talked about it at $23. I think it's at $21, $20 right now. It's not such a big difference, right? I think it was cheap before. I think it's cheap today. Is it too cheap to ignore? Maybe. Maybe, yeah. It's definitely a good company, just like Dave, just like Cecil. But it is interesting that it is an IPO that is really, really underperforming at the moment. Anyways, the trade desk, Stifle reiterates buy rating price target $90. This is a positive one. We also have a negative one. So the launch of Audience Unlimited with AI-powered ranking for third-party data segments is one of their key takeaways. Priced on new tiered rate systems, a launch of co-adaptive trading modes. I think this was already Kokai, not Koa. No, I think there's Kokai and there's Koa as well. Features include performance mode, Copilot AI, and control mode, a la carte AI solutions. Shares are up 5% on the announcement. The bullish sentiment is quite clearly Kokai. This is the thing that was delayed at the start of the year. They didn't want to launch it just for the sake of launching it because they knew it wasn't ready. So at the start of the year, remember, a huge crash in stock price because it was a first miss in 8 years, but it was a miss because they decided to delay the launch of that product. A quarter afterwards, of course, the results were much better because the launch happened and it happened on their terms. I still think the Trade Desk is a good company. As a Meta, Google, and also an Amazon shareholder, I don't see the case for me to buy the shares right now because it just gives me an extra exposure to advertising, which I don't need right now. But for those that want, I still think it's a good company. Yes, there are, of course, concerns about the big players, right? The walled garden players that could potentially take more and more market share from the trade desk or compete even stronger with the trade desk right now. But purely from a technical basis, you can see that the stock probably bottomed again here at around $45 or so for the trade desk. Then we have, again, a good a good comment, but the price target is cut to $55 from $75. And here as well, they talk about the pressure from Amazon DSP and sees 2025 as a transition year before the 2026 rebound. Commentary here about Kokai is about the same as the other analysts, although here they do add the extra concerns about Amazon and Google, which I think is fair. Fair to say. Viking Therapeutics, we do have a huge price target here, $102. I remember I made a video about Viking Therapeutics a long time ago. It's a bet. It either works out or it doesn't, or it gets acquired at a premium, of course. So here the price target is $102. That's almost 300% upside from the price we're at today. And here as well, you can see competitive GLP-1 data and M&A potential supporting bullish outlook. I think it was always about a potential acquisition, but then there were comments and acquisition from the Vikings that maybe pushed the narrative towards, oh, actually, maybe they're not looking to be acquired. Could be. Robinhood also has a new price target, $145, up from $120. One-stop shop expansion based on the comments from Vlad, I believe, last week. I see a lot of comments about UiPath, so we're going to check that in a bit. Um, Actually, Rohan here already says UiPath announces partnership with Snowflake to unite agentic automation and Snowflake Cortex AI. I'm still very surprised that nobody is buying, like no company is acquiring UiPath as a whole. Because as a standalone company, I don't see how successful it's going to be in the future. But okay, maybe through these types of partnerships, maybe these types of partnerships. But we'll have a look at that in a bit. Serve Robotics, they expand the autonomous deliveries to Chicago in partnership with Uber Eats. Again, us Uber shareholders do have a lot of exposure to a lot of these smaller autonomous players. This is again another good move, and it shows again and again that Uber is a platform where a lot of these players will just list their services on. We have some big news on Shopify, on Spotify. Daniel Ek, founder CEO, stepping down. There will be two co-CEOs right now. He's still going to be involved in the company, but he's stepping down. This is very interesting, right? Because usually you would like to see your founder stay as a CEO for a long, long time, but I guess he thinks he can maybe focus his energies on something else. So we do already have here a Goldman Sachs downgrade to neutral. Price target does go up to $770. That's a $5 increase. Bravo. Analyst sees growth priced in despite solid runway for margin and revenue. Spotify is one of my big misses, I think. I'm a Spotify user. I think a lot of us are Spotify users. Maybe you're Apple Music or maybe YouTube. But look at this. Spotify has absolutely crushed the market and a lot of the high-flying popular stocks since the bottom back in 2022. Of course, we've seen such moves with Nvidia, with Meta, Palantir, Robinhood, etc. But Spotify was overlooked. It's up 914%. 914% for a product that I use daily, and yet I never bothered to look at it ever again. Stupid from me, but I guess we can't catch them all. But yeah, this is insane. This, of course, happened because the business became better. They continue to grow. Margins have expanded, etc. But yeah, this has been overlooked. This rally is just insane. So if there are any Spotify shareholders, congratulations to you. Yeah, maybe Netflix is actually worse, because Netflix, I was actually looking at it, I was bullish, I made videos about it, and I never bought it. So that's stupid. But okay, you live and you learn. ASML, we have a Deutsche Bank price target of 900 euros. That's up from 700 euros. Yeah, but again, eventually you should be focusing on PE, but I do think that free cash flow for that business is a bit better than just a PE metric for now. YouTube Music comes with YouTube Premium. I agree. Although I don't know. I like Spotify. So we have here ASML, 900 euro price target. That's a 200 euro increase. Analyst cites memory capex recovery and Intel stability as key bull drivers. We've seen that with Synopsys as well. Intel is still a very big deal in the space. And so when we see positive things with Intel, you're going to see positive things with ASML, with Synopsys, and some other players. Shopify, we had that news yesterday. That's also why PayPal did drop a little bit from the $71, because Shopify is getting integrated into ChatGPT. You can now shop in ChatGPT, and Shopify is one of the first partners out there. They're also using Stripe as their PSP, Maybe they'll use PayPal's Braintree in the future as well. We already have, of course, Perplexity deal and the Google deal as well. So, okay. Apparently, the market forgets about the Perplexity and Google deal for PayPal and fully focuses on ChatGPT and Shopify here. But stock was still up 3.5% yesterday. So I guess that's a good thing. That's the good thing here. Tesla, buy rating, price target hiked to $490 from 333. Analyst cites delivery rebound, new EVs, and energy storage demand as growth driver. Eyesight, price has gone up. They suddenly changed their mind. Okay? Because you could have made these comments before, but you didn't because the price of the stock was lower. Celsius here. Morgan Stanley upgrade to overweight, price target raised to $70 from 61. That's a 23% upside from the price we're at right now. They see growth reacceleration and Pepsi's alignment boosting the outlook. Of course, the growth reacceleration thanks to the acquisitions that they've made, and then of course the backing of Pepsi definitely helps here. We had the Coreweave Meta deal announcement, and now we are also getting, I think this happened before, Evercore ISI initiate with outperform rating, price target set to $175. Analyst sees AI first infra edge with upside from OpenAI, Nvidia ties. I assume that they can now add also Meta to their reasoning right here. Looking if they're actually putting some multiples on their numbers, but it seems like today and yesterday we are seeing quite a lot of price target changes, but no pricing metrics that they're using here to justify all of it. We talked about Dragonfly a bit in the drones video. So they were selected by US Army to supply Flex FPV drone systems. Okay. I think that's about it. We have some downgrades from Oklo. Always good to see. Always good to see. Don't like to see any of you lose money, but it's good to see some normal reasoning and price targets out there. WeRide aims to have up to 1,000 robotaxis in the Middle East in 2026, according to the CFO. I think that's about it for now with the price target. We, of course, have more throughout the stream, but for now, that was it. Let's see if we got some more information here from this account right now. Jose is here. Of course, you're going on vacation. Coreweave is up. Jose is going on vacation, which means, of course, Oscar will keep the green action. Well, hopefully. But usually that's how it goes. It's like the new technical indicator, only exclusive to channel members. Here. Let's see. Okay. Almost forgot, but we are going to talk about UiPath. So UiPath, for those that are wondering, UiPath is up apparently a significant amount pre-market. This is UiPath right now. Was at $12. We're pre-market right now at 15.7. Actually, on the RSI here, you can see that there has been a lot of movements on the way up. Right now, we're definitely going to be overbought. But what has happened? Well, what has happened is this. They launched Voice AI Automation Expands Partnership. So UiPath unveiled a voice-enabled automation agent powered by Google's Gemini, Google again, letting businesses trigger workflows through real-time speech. The company also rolled out a ChatGPT connector with OpenAI, Nvidia integrations with regulated workflows, and a Snowflake partnership linking automation to data insights. New tools like UiPath Maestro and Agent Builder aim to scale enterprise AI adoption. They've used all of the names that they had to use in that announcement. So they're using AI, They're using Google Gemini, they're using ChatGPT, OpenAI, and Nvidia, Snowflake as well, all in that one announcement. Of course, the stock had to go up. I mean, you cannot not use all of these names and see the stock not move. Makes sense. Makes sense. So that's the announcement here with UiPath. I do want to show you the company itself. So I'll go quickly on fiscal here. And we're going to see, because it's a very small company. It's a very small company. Speaking of, I am a UiPath developer working from home. And what do you think about the company? So, UiPath. Ding. This is basically it. Okay, of course, over the last 5 years, stock is down 80% or so. Over the past 3 years, it is now up 23%. Over the past years, up 20. Year to date, it's up 20%. Over the past year, 21%. It's a company worth $6.6 billion, maybe a bit more right now, up 23% pre-market. The problem here, again, with UiPath is that despite everything that's been happening right now in AI, it's not a company that per se has seen huge growth, right? 9%, 9%, 9%, 8%, 9%. Those are the expected growth figures for the upcoming fiscal years. You would have assumed that growth would be in the double digits for this type of company. But it isn't, right? This is the growth that you're getting from a company that generated, by the way, they're expected to generate $1.8 billion in fiscal 27. If we look at Salesforce, okay, Salesforce is a company that is also growing 9-8% or so, and is expected to see growth accelerate. And in fiscal 27, well, fiscal 2 years from now, so other fiscal year, same calendar year, Salesforce is expected to generate $49.5 billion, UiPath 1.8, and Salesforce is expected to grow 10%, while UiPath is expected to grow 9%. You see, my problem is that, okay, it might look cheap, UiPath, but it is not really such an interesting opportunity. I think a Salesforce is definitely an interesting opportunity. I think it's a company that is very, very profitable. Yes, it is not growing as fast as before. Yes, they previously grew through acquisitions, which I still think that the acquisitions are going to add to the growth for the years ahead. But at one point here as well, I think the market is going to figure out that, actually, maybe Agentforce is a good business for them, and growth is accelerating. And so we are willing to pay a higher multiple for this, because currently what you're paying is a trailing P of 35.6 and a forward one of 20.5 times. With price to free cash flow, trailing 18.7, forward 16.2 times. And this is a free cash flow margin. It has a free cash flow margin of 31.6%. Very, very good business, very profitable business as well. That's Salesforce, the size of Salesforce that is growing as fast as UiPath, and then expected to grow faster than UiPath 2 years from now. So again, good announcements, I guess, for UiPath. It's a catalyst for the stock to go up. It's not a reason for me to get excited about it. And I've been saying this for a while. I think when I drew this Picasso line right here, I said this is just an acquisition target. And I still think it can be an acquisition target. Up until $10 billion or maybe a little bit more, I think it can be an acquisition target for sure. For sure. Quick comment here on that Coreweave $14 billion deal. So they loved our infrastructure in earlier contracts and came back for more. So they had earlier contracts, they came back for more. Okay, good to know. Good to know. $14 billion. That's not interesting. Okay, so with Spotify, what I said before, Daniel Ek stepping down as CEO and he's becoming executive chairman as of January 1st, 2026. Co-presidents will take over as co-CEOs. I never like the co-CEO structure. Same thing has happened with Intel. When there are two co-CEOs, there's no CEO. That's it. Ek will focus on capital allocation and long-term strategy, while both executives will join the board pending approval. So that was the big news about Spotify. Did I say Shopify before? I think no, I said Spotify. Other than that, we have a little bit some comments here on the on Nvidia. So KeyBank says Nvidia now expects to use about 370,000 CoWoS interposers in 2025, up 90% year over year, and has raised its 2026 supply forecast. Upgraded specs for the upcoming Vera Rubin 200 should keep Nvidia ahead of AMD's MI400. I've seen some comments, I think, from Semi-Analysis talking about it. Let me see if I can pull it up really quick. In the meantime, have a quick look at Coreweave. I want to see if I can find the post where it basically says that a competitive AMD is very good for the market because it also pushes Nvidia to innovate a bit more, or continue to innovate. That is. Can I find it? Yes, I found it. Okay, so was basically this. So MI450X used to be 2300 watt TGP. To make it more competitive, AMD bumped it up. Vera Rubin used to be, and 2 months ago it has been bumped up here as well. 2 months ago, in order for Rubin to maintain a lead over AMD's MI450X, Vera Rubin memory bandwidth was increased to 20 terabytes per GPU from 13. AMD is running fast, is making Nvidia produce better products. This is what a competitive free market should look like. This, of course, is very good for AMD and AMD shareholders, because this really means that they are quite competitive. Quite competitive. Again, Nvidia will probably still have over 80% market share for now, but having a secondary, highly competitive product is going to be excellent. Will I buy? No, I actually took profits on Micron. Because it became the number 4 position in the portfolio. Wait for a pullback. Look, I took profits not because it's expensive, just because the sizing of the position became quite big because of the performance of the stock year to date. I still like the company. Am I going to chase it? No, not going to chase it. Is any of the Coreweave deal business spill over into Applied Digital? I don't think so. I think with Applied Digital, they already had like their set of announcements. Although last quarter, Applied Digital did tell us that Coreweave did take that extra option, right? Can't remember exactly how much that was. We can actually go back and look at it. But that's one of the reasons why also the stock went up significantly for Applied Digital. Let's actually see if we can find it, because the original deals, like the Nebius Microsoft deal, right? It's $17.4 billion, can run up to 19 point something. It was the same here with Coreweave. Any Coreweave comments? Let's see what we get from our little AI buddies here, because I do remember they talked about it. I think it was last quarter. Let's see. what we get. The meantime, let's see what we have in the comments. Okay, so 15-year lease agreement was signed to deliver 250 megawatts of critical IT load, projected to generate $7 billion in contracted revenue over the lease term. This commitment, voila, so this is it. This commitment was further expanded when Coreweave exercised a option for additional 150 megawatts in a third building at Polaris Forge 1, bring the total commitment capacity to 400 megawatts. And then they tell us when those deployments will happen. So we had 150, then they added another 250, they added another 150 here. So 17 billion is just for, it's just for the 7 billion was only for the 250 megawatts. So could 14 billion be to 500 megawatts? Quick napkin assumptions here, because the new Meta Coreweave deal is $14 billion, but I do believe it's $14 billion for some extra things as well. But it could be that this extra here might be one of the reasons. But again, this is also why the stock has gone up since the last earnings report. The last earnings report stock was at $10. We're now at $22. So makes sense. What's your mindset to sell a winner in your portfolio? Why not keep it? You mean completely sell off or take profits? Because take profits is, in my opinion, still a good thing. If things have gone up too quickly, you take profits, you still keep the position. Completely sell a winner. I did that mistake in the past. But now, if I completely sell a winner, it's probably because I found a better story elsewhere. But yeah, normally I would never want to sell a winner. Normally, yeah. Nebius overvalued based on what? I don't think so. Yeah. Coreweave and Nebius are great companies, but way overvalued. This is 10-year price into the future. I don't think so. Because Nebius' market cap was as big as Microsoft's contract. So how can you say that it is overvalued? It got their own market cap in a contract deal with Microsoft. If you're only looking at the revenue trailing 12 months, then yes, you will say that it is extremely overvalued. But if you're looking at the ARR and the growth rates and the contract that we just got, I don't think you can say that it is overvalued. Is the stock stretched for some of these names? Maybe. Yeah, maybe. But then again, there is a reason why we've seen this go up. Like I said, here, Nebius's market cap was as big as the contract that they've got from Microsoft. So no, I'm not that surprised that the stock almost doubled since then. It doubled because suddenly things have changed. The thesis did not change, but the financial impact and the timeline for it did change, right? Because the thesis was always, we are going to get hyperscalers. We're going to get hyperscalers. We're going to get AI labs. We're going to get enterprises. That Microsoft announcement just made sure that it happened now, right? It happened at the start of September. And so, poof, we go up. The thesis did not change. The numbers, when you look at the business right now, that did change, yes. And that's why the stock has gone up quite a lot. And I'm still very happy. Take profits. Okay, so going back to the other thing. Yeah, take profits. I see zero reasons why people should not take profits along the way. Because sometimes you buy a good name. I'll give the prime example here, a Trade Desk. A Trade Desk was and still is a very good company, but probably was a much better company before because it was growing much faster. Investors, yes, should have taken profits here at 144 because the valuation did not make any sense anymore. should have taken profits at $90 as well. Valuation did not make sense anymore. You can still keep your position, but take the risk off the table. Again, nobody got poor by taking profits. That's the very good rule and saying. Two thank yous here. One, Ashley, thank you for becoming a member. And thank you, Georgie, for becoming a member of the channel as well. I really appreciate that. And yes, and I do have a BMNR position. I've had it actually for two weeks, 2.5 weeks or so. I think 45 or $47 average right now. I know I'm not planning on. It's 169 shares. Yes, it's on purpose, but very childish. I know. I'm sorry, but it's a position that I will not be growing over time. I have what I have, and we'll see. We'll see what happens with it in the future. Did I? Just because you arrived, I will talk about it again. PayPal was up 3.5% yesterday. PayPal is up pre-market. Of course, when the market opens, we know what will happen. A lot of things can go down. But we might be nearing an inflection point for PayPal stock. If it can stay above $70 and it can close out the week above the 50-day moving average here, I think we can suddenly see the stock go up a little bit more. And then we will have the earnings report. I believe it's either the very end of October. This is an estimated date. Logically, it would be end of October or like November 1st or 2nd. I don't know when that falls, but that's usually when they will report their quarterly figures. And I do think that should be pushing the stock higher because it's just too cheap, too many tailwinds for the company, too many good announcements have happened. I do think and I do hope that they should be more aggressive during the earnings call. It was fine to be conservative before, but there are just too many good things happening for the company right now to continue to be extremely conservative for the sake of being conservative. I understand Alex Chris came in, so yes, okay, maybe for the first year, lots of changes in the company, in the business, etc., etc. But it's been 2 years. You can now start and be a bit more aggressive. You can also tell us a bit more about the advertising business, although there probably isn't that much to say for now. But I do expect them to talk a little bit more about that in 26. Talk more about Venmo, because I do think that Alex Chris loves Venmo. Venmo is a business that grows above 20%, is expected to continue to grow above 20% for the foreseeable future. Braintree growth is expected to reaccelerate. That will help just the headline numbers. Oh, suddenly PayPal is growing faster than before. How does that happen? Well, guess what? Braintree. And so I'm quite optimistic. Of course, I am biased. I hold shares and I hold call options. And so I do need things to work out on time. That's the issue with buying options. But I still have time. Nebius 4, I don't think so. 400 is like is quite a big move. 400 is quite a big move. One deal away. Look, the Microsoft deal is a huge deal. It's $17 billion. To get another $17 billion deal is I mean, I don't think it's impossible, but 400 by the end of the year, depending on how big the deal is, I might be taking profits if it happens, right? 400 by the end of the year is a lot. And yeah, PayPal buybacks, I'll say time and time again, they should have accelerated the buybacks. Like Uber did at the start of the year, like a one-time acceleration, $1.5 billion, bam, to buy back as many shares as possible. Okay, Nike. Quickly touching on Nike because it is in the title, so I would be a clickbait merchant if I don't talk about it. Nike is at $69 right now. We did have a jump in price last time they reported. That's the gap up right here. It went all the way to $80, and now we're here at almost all of the moving averages other than the 50-day one. So Nike does report earnings later today. I am not a Nike bull nor a Nike bear. I own Nike shoes and Nike socks. I think that's the only thing I own from from Nike right now. Of course, it has underperformed the market and then some. Singapore Grand Prix predictions. I would love for Verstappen to win again, just because it would put an insane amount of pressure on the two McLaren drivers. But it is a very tricky circuit. It is a very, very tricky weather conditions as well, very humid. And so, I don't know. It's probably going to be a Piastri again or something like that. But I would love for Verstappen to win again, just to have that extra pressure on the two papayas. It's going to be. I mean, the last two Grand Prix performances by Verstappen have probably shocked them, and probably shocked quite a lot of people. I think he was told to be more conservative because, yeah, it wasn't really a conference, right? Was it a conference? Yeah, it was a conference. He went like on Jim Cramer and said that the event is going to shock the world. But yeah, it shocked investors more than anything else. More than anything else. What if the bump yesterday was a big chunk of buybacks? Maybe. Yeah. I also seen a post talking about options flow and all of that. Yesterday was also a very big day. So either someone knows something, or yeah, maybe it is something like that. I had a call. Yeah, that makes sense. It's probably a short-term one, right? Probably a short-term one. $90 or $80. Which one is it? Quickly touching on Nike, and then I'll come back to the chat. So Nike right now, $102 billion in market cap, PE 32 times, forward PE 42 times, because, well, it is becoming less profitable, or that's the projections right now. It's a company that over the last 3 years has not grown. That's compounded growth. Over the next 2 years, expected to grow just 2.3% compounded. EPS growing faster than that. Now, if we look at the estimates, this is what the market is expecting Nike to do, or to report later today. Revenue around $11 billion. Revenue around $11 billion. EPS being 27 cents. EPS being 27 cents. Free cash flow, I would assume that we are negative. Correct. We are negative at the moment. EBIT here, $480.5 million. If we go back to the last earnings report, we can have a look here. So revenue was down 11%. Gross margins, a 440 basis points decline. Q4 EPS, 14 cents. Full year revenue, that's their fiscal year, down 9% year over year. As for guidance for the first quarter, they expect revenue to be down mid-single digits, with gross margins declining approximately 350 to 425 basis points, including a 100 basis point negative impact from new tariffs. Probably there are going to be more tariff talks during the earnings call. SG&A dollars are projected to increase by low single digits, and for the full fiscal year 2026, the effective tax rate is going to be $19 to $20 or so. The thing with Nike is that it is a turnaround story, right? It is a turnaround story, which is why it's going to take more time than expected. You know, I like turnaround stories, and just this one just doesn't interest me. But to go back to, for example, Bill Ackman's play, it's a bit similar to what I did with Intel. He had shares, but then he noticed that the turnaround story will just take longer. So he basically bought long-term options. It's like I did with Intel, although I maybe could have done it before, but I'm not complaining. I had shares, and I said, you know what? I'll free up some cash. I'll buy, in my case, I bought $30 strike price January 2027 call options, freed up some cash, worked out, but at least I'm still in the story, in the turnaround here. And I think with Nike, it could be the same thing. It could be the same thing. You could be looking at $90, $80, $100 strike prices, 27, maybe already 2028, and it might make more sense for you. Are they going to beat today? Your guess is as good as mine. Your guess is as good as mine right now. Stock wise, we are right at the top of that gap from 3 months ago. We are very close to being oversold on the RSI here. It's all about comments. It's all about what they're seeing with their refresh, and maybe if there is demand, if there's no demand, and of course the tariff impact on the business is going to be important for them. But so apparently, can someone check what the implied move is going to be for Nike? Apparently the IV is crazy high, but how high is it? It's like a 20%, 18%, 15%. How high is it? What do I think about Evolution AB, the gaming company? I think it was cheap before. I still think it's a good company today. Neil, did you see Wolf tickers which exited? Do you think MX will have the same bounce? Yeah, but that's a reverse split, no? From Wolf? Wolf speed, yeah? Isn't this just a reverse split that still needs to be updated? Because I don't think that they've increased by a 1,700% in value, unless they did, but I don't think so. Wolf speed, reverse split, let's see. Yeah, Wolf speed stock surges over 1,700% as reverse split sparks monster rally. They plan to reduce the company's debt by roughly 70%, cut annual cash interest payments by 60%. Okay. One new share for every 120 old shares. I don't know. I wanted to do this YOLO bet with Jose, with Wolf, a couple of times. We never did it. But then again, we had enough YOLO bets. Enough is enough. and it worked out for now. It worked out quite well. But I don't know what MX is. But with these players, again, it's either it works out or it doesn't. Or it does. And I don't really follow that company that closely, to be honest. We have a couple of minutes until the market opens, so let's have a quick look here at some comments. JJ, thanks for the super chat. By the way, thank you always for the super chat. You called BMNR a YOLO. Has your conviction grown? Well, the reason why I bought it is because my conviction has grown as I've dived deeper into this Ethereum treasury play rabbit hole. And so I still view, again, I still put the tag YOLO bet on it. But like I said before, it's not a position that I will increase. I think there are better companies out there that do not need my YOLO tag on them in order for me to make a lot of money with it for the future. So I still hold it, not selling it. I'm riding the wave. Hopefully it's a wave on the way up and not on the way down. Tonya at Center, thank you for the super chat. You bought Figma. It's still right, still the same price, huh? Yeah, still the same price. As a very novice, will we go back to 79? Look, I will ask you a question, same question I ask everyone, for those that are very familiar with the channel, is why did you buy at $79? If you bought it because you like the business, you like the price that you were paying, then that's one thing. Then you should definitely like it at these prices as well. If you bought it purely because of it was an IPO and the hype and everything, then maybe you should not have bought it, and maybe you should just get rid of it right now and see what you can buy with the money that you will still have, companies that you would like to follow, companies that you maybe understand. So those are the two options. If you liked it at 79 because of the business and all of it, then you should love it at 55, 54, 55. If you bought it purely on maybe a trading play or whatever, then it's a bit different. I still think it's a good company, but if you've watched my streams and my videos when talking about Figma, you know that I said it's probably going to come down quite significantly because it just valuation wise it did not make any sense. And it seems like right now we are creating a base right here, $55 or so, probably until the next earnings report, and then we're going to see how the market reacts based on the numbers that they will report. When do we start pumping Shift 4? I don't know, but look, as long if we can stay, I have a position now, and of course, right now, as you can clearly see, we are oversold. My fear with this is that despite them doing the acquisitions, someone might come in and buy them because it is just too cheap. That's my fear. I don't know if they'll sell because Jared is still 25%, has 25% of the company still. But yeah, we'll see a bottom from April was $68 or so. Can we go this low? Always a possibility. But in the meantime, I'll accumulate accordingly with Shift 4. I'll accumulate accordingly. I already have a small, nice position, 2.2, 2.3% of the portfolio. And so when will we start pumping? Probably after the next earnings report. I think we should be starting to see a bigger move. Global Blue acquisition is over, and we'll hear more about the company. Your price target for Iron end of year, as you know, I don't do price targets ever almost. If I have price targets, it's purely because of some short-term trade or recovery play that I'm doing. But Iron, I have no price target for end of year. We could be sitting at $45 and I'd be happy as well because it has gone up significantly more recently. And it will allow us to buy more shares. So I don't know about end of year, but I can say that I am certain or pretty certain that it will be worth way more than $12-13 billion 5 years from now, 10 years from now. Unless the AI story is BS and everything goes down to zero. But yeah, that's my thoughts here. So I did a video about BMNR explaining exactly that. In short, treasuries have outperformed the underlying assets. They can, of course, also use, for example, a MicroStrategy or a Bitmine. They can use their stock, as we've seen more recently. They've managed to sell it at a 14% premium, and then they bought more Ethereum with it. So there are ways to maximize the value of being a treasury. It makes sense when things go up, of course. It might not make sense when things go down, but then again, when things go down, they could probably buy back their own shares or buy more Ethereum. And then eventually, with the more Ethereum that you have, they want 5%. You can generate actual revenue income from it, staking, etc., etc. Of course, the end goal, and this is something that you have to believe, and I have to say, ding, 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 market is open. Market is open, ladies and gentlemen. Ding, 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 ding. Bing, bong, 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 bong. We are opening the markets. For now, it seems like things are a bit all over the place. As always, the heat map will update in a couple of seconds, but we can have a look here at at the prices on the watch list. The prices on the watch list this here on the site will update in I think 30 seconds or so. And so we have Coreweave still up 10%, Nebius is up 4, Applied Digital 3, Oscar almost 2%. Thank you, Jose. Rocket Lab up 0.6, Micron 0.5, Duolingo 0.7, Palantir 0.7, Apple 0.2, Nvidia 0.3, and the local is flat, which means that PayPal is down. No, PayPal is flat. PayPal is flat. Well, depending on the seconds, of course, depending on the seconds here. Who's read the most? Who's read the most? That's Novo Nordisk down 3%, BMNR down 3%, Reddit is down 2.2, Intel 1.5, Marvell 0.8, Zeta 1, Google 0.7, and then all the rest here are down less than 0.5% or so, with PayPal really flirting with us. Green, red, green, red, green, red. Hopefully it does finish the day green. So Coreweave is, of course, the big winner for now. Coreweave is the big winner for now. Let's actually have, and now you can see the heat map is literally flat at the moment. We have Coreweave back at the highs of last week. We have Nebius at all-time highs, $115. $115. So congrats to all of us shareholders. On the daily, we are overbought. But okay, that's normal when you see these types of moves. But congratulations to all of us shareholders. Very, very nice. I'm also a shareholder of Coreweave and Iron, so I'm quite happy with what has been happening more recently. Iron is, of course, not moving much. Not moving much. It's down 0.8%. Applied is up 3% right now. Oscar 2.88%. Making our way maybe to the $20 mark. We're still waiting for ACA subsidies extension or not extension. We'll see what happens with that. PayPal is now down 0.5%, which means we're just at the 50-day moving average. Again, I think the goal for the week is to try and close above it and try and close maybe above $70. Try and close above $70 right now. Let's see. Yeah, 75. What is Path doing? So Path, there is definitely some profit taking going on right now. Like I said, it was a good announcement. You get a lot of the names in that announcement: Nvidia, OpenAI, ChatGPT, Google Gemini, Snowflake, and all of that. But essentially, not much has changed for now with the company. And so, yeah, stock was up more. We're now up 15%. That's it. That's about it. Let's have a look at Adobe. Adobe unchanged, still closer to 360. Salesforce unchanged. Chime probably 21. Yep, up 2% today. Up 2%. Dave. Ooh, interesting. Dave is down a little bit, and we are seeing that it's now under the 50 and the 100-day moving average. Previously, you can see it did respect it. Like it dropped a little bit under it, but then it did rebound. So interesting area to keep an eye on with Dave. Sezzle, it's a very strange name to name your company, Dave, but okay. Sezzle is on that 200-day moving average. So far, so good with that. Shift 4. Shift 4 is down another close to 1% today. So $78.3. Maybe it's trying to fill that small gap right here. I don't think that maybe you can't even call it a gap anymore, but maybe that's what it's trying to do. Rubric 80, 83. Okay, flattish today for Rubric, flat-ish. Coreweave 140. Let's go. 140 up 14.7%. You see, this is why it's okay to sometimes change your mind and not go against the stream. Because previously I only had Nebius, right? I had Nebius and our small applied digital bet, which I don't have anymore. But then when Coreweave dropped $91 and 91 cents was my first buy-in, said it on stream, said it to Jose, look, why should I always convince myself that this is not going to work out when clearly all the players are betting on the fact that it is going to work out, right? Coreweave, Nvidia, OpenAI. Now we have this Meta thing. It's okay to ask questions, especially when things are quite expensive. And then it's also okay to change your mind when things actually look cheap and you've done more research, you've changed your mind, and you said, actually, why always go against the stream just for the sake of going against the stream? Yes, high debt, etc., but they don't want to overbuild. They're building because they have contracts in place. They're building because they have good partnerships. Then they've announced that thing with Nvidia. That in case they don't have anyone coming in, Nvidia is their backstop, right? That's $6.3 billion or so. And so it's not as big as my Nebius play, but I'm quite happy with my exposure right now with Coreweave and the performance there. Of course, Nebius is still my little baby here, and that has, of course, performed extremely well. Extremely well. Do I plan on selling Coreweave? No, I don't plan on selling Coreweave. Will I add Coreweave? Probably if we have some pullbacks, and if not, then with this one, of course, I will have to average up since my average is quite good. Same with Nebius. Same with Nebius. I know a lot of the stocks that we talk about have gone up, so things are quite stretched. Is it still worth buying anything? There are still companies that are worth buying, for sure. There are still companies worth buying. For sure, we now have PayPal down 1.5%. So, yeah, yesterday was, I guess, short-lived, which means the call options that we saw yesterday go up so much are probably down a nice amount today. So we celebrate our wins when we can. We celebrate our wins when we can. Do we have a Shift 4 video? I did talk about Shift 4 last week. The title is, I think, the two stocks that I bought or something like that. I'll tell you in a bit. Da, da, da. So the title is, it's from 4 days ago. I'm buying these two growth stocks. So I talk about Shift 4 and I talk about Rubrik in that video. Applied Digital, I don't think earnings are anytime soon, actually. Where is it? Applied Digital. Wait, they reported July. So this is, I don't think this is correct, by the way. I don't think this is correct. Like, you just have to calculate 3 months. So end of July is like end of August, end of September, end of October. Cannot be beginning of October. It's not possible. So this is an estimated date, unless I missed something. So let's have a look at the website. Maybe they said something to us. Resolve AI will report tomorrow. I saw something about them. No. So apparently I am wrong. That's very strange. So Applied Digital is going to report October 9th. Short. It's a very short 3 months. Okay, interesting. Yeah, I guess that's going to be an interesting story to follow next week. Josh, so no, you are correct. You are correct. But usually you just take the last earnings date and you just add 3 months. In this case, it is shorter than expected, I guess. Let's have a look. So April 14, and then they reported July 31st. So May, June, July. So, okay, so this one made sense. This is a shorter one. Interesting. Maybe because they want to announce something? I don't know. Could be. Could be. When will we see another green SoFi? Well, I mean, do I care? No. We can go lower. We can go lower. I think that's going to be good um, for whoever wants to accumulate more shares. For whoever wants to accumulate more shares. Yeah, it's probably that. Probably that. Because we're still waiting for real business numbers. There were also some commentary on the yields that might be a bit too low, and so we might be seeing some delays. But I guess we'll see. We'll see when they report. Estimated end of October. So a bit like everyone else. Netflix, SML, Tesla, Intel, PayPal, SoFi are all either end of October, very beginning of November. Let's have a quick look at maybe some more price target changes here. If we can find some, we can find some actually. We have here one for Marvell. So Marvell got an $80 price target. $80 price target from Stifel. AI data center super cycle, broad IP portfolio, and co-investment model as long-term growth drivers. That's for Marvell. They're targeting 20% share by calendar year 2028. That's a $94 billion opportunity for them. Cypher, we'll have a look at the stock in a bit. Cypher, Canaccord Genuity, reiterated buy rating, price target raised to $16 from $12. That's a 26.5% or upside potential. Same here for Needham. It seems like, yeah, since that fluid stack and Google announcement, we do have quite a lot more coverage on Cypher. The KeyBank note we've already seen here as well. Nice uplift, 37.5% increase. Very nice. Broadcom also. KeyBank is very aggressive here. 28% increase in price target upside compared to the price. That's not bad at all. Zoox is expanding its robotaxi Tesla fleet to Washington, D.C. I might or might not release an Amazon video when I'm done with the live stream. So you might want to check out the video after the stream. And so, are we going to see a little pullback, profit taking? Maybe. Yeah, maybe. It's a potential. There's a potential. Cypher. So Cypher did come down actually more recently, a little bit. Blowing off steam, it seems. But then again, still up significantly since the start of August, was up even more than that. So, okay, fine. Not such a big deal. Not such a big deal. The thing that's something that Randall is saying right now. It's a good example. So same thing as SoFi, by the way. Market looks stretched, right? But if we look at some of the names are pulling back 5%, 7%, 6%, 10%. Some of the names that have been going up quite a lot, that were overbought, are giving back some gains, and that's good. That's good. You need the market to chill a little bit. In this case, we do have names that are chilling out a little bit, but it's also a good thing. It's also a good thing right now. Did you see if you buy Fiscal AI Plus this week, you're automatically upgraded to Pro plan? You didn't have a sponsor link. I do have a sponsor link. It is this one. Put it in the chat, or it is usually maybe not during the live streams, because I do have to update that. It's this, if you want to try it out. And I do appreciate everyone that has been subscribing through the link. I highly appreciate that. And so we do have more red than green for now. I think we saw the same thing yesterday. PayPal is red. Even Oscar is red. But then again, it was green before. Yesterday we did end the day yesterday green, so we might see the same thing, but the potential of a bad headline, right? Government shutdown might impact the stocks. It's a bullback, not a pullback. That's a good one. Have you seen PayPal news on agentic commerce? You mean the Perplexity Google announcement that we've known about before, or is there something new that came out for PayPal? If yes, then let me know. Let me know in the comments. Or you're talking about the Shopify ChatGPT announcement from yesterday. If that's the case, then yes, we already talked about that. Sorry, just got here. One sentence or a thought on Nike. It's a long-term turnaround story. I'm not that excited about that. Can they beat tonight? Yes, they can. Comments will be on their own expectations, tariff impacts on the business. Jeffrey reports about fintech stocks being the maximum shorted. Yeah, I'm not surprised, but they're also the ones that could probably provide us with the most upside, in my opinion. Nope, PayPal newsroom today. Okay. Then we shall have a look. PayPal newsroom today. Let's see if I can find something, because the investor relation website, for some reason, doesn't show me anything. I am here on the PayPal newsroom. So this thing, because this we already knew about it, right? PayPal's honey from Dr. Mark Greter, they posted something on PayPal's newsroom. This. Okay. This one. Had to dig for this thing. So PayPal continues to shape agentic commerce with instant product discovery. PayPal announced it is transforming AI-centric shopping queries into seamless buying experiences by adding the capabilities to PayPal Honey. These capabilities help shoppers who use AI for research but struggle to buy because they can't compare products, blah, blah, blah. Okay. Yeah, this dude is the guy from for the ads business. That's going to be interesting. Okay, so with 61% of US adults now using AI tools and 46% enthusiastic about AI's impact on online shopping, PayPal Honey can provide consumers with additional value directly in their AI-powered conversation. Remember when there was that 3 days of, honey scandal that disappeared as fast as it rose? So, what are the best televisions that are 55-inch or larger? Show me highly rated coffee makers. PayPal's Honey extension will display the products that the chatbot recommends with real-time pricing, merchants options, and exclusive offers. The combination of all these features help remove the hassle from shopping within AI conversations. Okay, I guess this is also something that it could definitely integrate with Perplexity and Gemini, maybe ChatGPT in the future. When someone asks a chatbot for the best headphones under $200, they shouldn't have to spend another 20 minutes hunting for those products, comparing prices, and searching for discount codes and cashback offers. We're making it simpler for consumers to purchase recommendations for the products they already plan to buy. This is going to be quite a good impact on conversion rates for merchants and of course, maybe even an increase in spending. These updates come as AI shopping faces a stark conversion challenge. While AI-generated traffic to retail sites have exploded by 1,200%, it remains less likely to convert compared to traditional shopping methods. Exactly what I just said. This will help it. Um, Today's AI experiences are designed to answer questions, not shop. While it's interesting that they released this just a day after the Shopify ChatGPT thing. But yeah, no, good announcement. Good announcement. Good piece of information. And this again shows how we're going to probably see ads play a big part here in PayPal's future business. So this is basically what we're getting. Is this whose interface is this? Let's see. Is it if it's going to be quite interesting if this interface is chat. Is it ChatGPT? No, it's not Gemini. ChatGPT maybe. Let's see. Testing. Or maybe it's Perplexity. Maybe it's Perplexity. It is ChatGPT. Uh-huh. Okay, so it is ChatGPT, but they're not showing the ChatGPT logo. Huh. That is very interesting. That is very interesting. Looks like ChatGPT could look like Gemini, could it? Maybe. But in Gemini, I don't have libraries. Like under new chat, I don't have libraries. Or search chat either. Search chat is above it. So, huh. ChatGPT. Aha. Chat. Let's see. What do you mean, ChatGPT? No, ChatGPT is like another white label. Yeah. No, even the white label one, I'm on it right now. It's not. It doesn't have search chat and library. It does look like a ChatGPT type of thing. Although the top recommendation with the emoji could also be like a Gemini or Perplexity. Huh. No, Perplexity it's definitely not. Perplexity it's definitely not. I actually choose just to copy image and ask. Let's see. What interface is this? GPT, Gemini, or another? We'll see. We'll see. But yeah, the integration. I mean, imagine if we do have an announcement. If we do have an announcement like the Shopify thing yesterday, although it's going to be quite strange if they come out with it. Or maybe that they just made this picture to make it look as if I just asked. It can be both, because as you can see, there is no logo. Like there's no ChatGPT OpenAI logo, which usually you do get here on the top. So maybe they just wanted to make it look as if it is one. But anyways, it's a cool thing. It's especially after yesterday's announcement from Shopify and ChatGPT. This is again showing that PayPal is not behind anymore when it comes to innovation. We do have some major pullbacks with all the gains that we've seen. So Coreweave now only up 12%, Nebius only up 3%. We do have more red than green still, Reddit is down 6% right now. So here as well, you can see some pullbacks in certain names, going to visit that 50-day moving average. PayPal is down 1.7%. Market really does not care about anything that they announced. AMD is still at 160. I'll release a video about AMD and SoFi separately, talking about the current state of it all. SoFi is down 3.5% to now 26.6. Oh, okay. I mean, people should not be scared about pullbacks or bullbacks when we have been going up significantly over the last couple of months. Talking about bullbacks, what is Webull doing? It's been doing quite well actually this month. Oh, okay. All right. All in all, this is the way where the market is looking at the moment. It's fine. Although if you watch the Sunday portfolio update video, the odds of us being red were quite high. Although it's not the end of the world, so it's not like things are down 5-10% or so. We have some small profit taking, some small pullbacks, and that's completely fine. That's about it for me for today. We shall be back. Thanks to all the new members, and thank you for the super chats as well. Really appreciate all of it. We will be back tomorrow. I have an Amazon video coming out later today. I will have an AMD and SoFi separate videos as well. I should have had a conversation with Emir on PayPal Sunday, but that will be happening the upcoming Sunday. We're going to talk about PayPal. We're going to talk about SoFi as well. Lots of numbers, lots of DCFs. So make sure you have those notification bells on so you don't miss that future live stream. Anyways, that's about it for me in this video. We shall see each other tomorrow. Your favorite Resolve AI is reporting. I still don't understand what the heck they're doing, but we'll talk about this. We'll talk about this tomorrow. Have a wonderful rest of your day.